Namo Arihantaram, Namo Sitaram, Namo Aliyaram, Namo Uvajayaram, Namo Loasavasahunam. Eso Panchamo Yaro, Savapapanasana, Mangalancha Savasi, Paramam Hoi Mangalam.
Padamam
Hoi Mangalam.
Chattari
Mangalam. Aranta Mangalam. Sida Mangalam.
Sahu Mangalam.
Kevalipanato Dhammo Mangalam. Chattari Loguttama Aranta Loguttama Sita Loguttama Sahu Loguttama Kevalipanato Dhammo Loguttamo. Chattari Sharam Pavajami Arante Sharam Pavajami Site Sharam
Pavajami Sahu Sharanam Pavajami
Kevalipanatam Dhammam Sharam Pavajami.
Okay, so we can start with the Balbod book.
Can you give me?
Priya, have you practiced?
Yes.
Your song and
no,
sorry, yeah, Priya, sorry. Briella was going to recite the story.
Yeah, so all the characters she was struggling because it was a pretty long story. So
long story.
She'll try to summarize a little bit, but I think
no problem.
Yeah, we might have to go like a small piece by small piece so they can.
Small piece by yeah. Okay, that's good. So at least whatever you can say today is good enough. Fine. Perfect. Okay, so fine. Let's start with Balbod and then we do that at the end.
Can you give me permission to share?
Yeah. Okay, done. So we have to answer the questions at the bottom. Okay, how many sins are there? Please name them. Who would like to answer?
You wanna go?
Nope.
Hi, come on.
No.
Hinsa, Jhoot, Chori, Kushil, and Parigraha. So like I guess you can say violence, lies, theft, theft, and then accumulation.
Repeat them, Briella and Fiona.
Lies. What was the first one?
Violence,
lies, theft,
sex.
Sex.
Yeah, and then accumulation.
Okay, and so hinsa. Next is in like Gujarati hinsa. Then next.
Jhoot, Chori. I think Kushil. I don't know the right word, but I'm assuming it's Kushil. Is it Kushil? Is that the right word? Kushil after Chori. What's the next one?
Let me just, if you can scroll up.
I mean, but the right word, like this word is not right here. So this is hinsa,
Falsehood,
jhoot, chori, anu khabar nathi mane, and parigraha. I know parigraha. Methun.
Okay. So yeah, so let's try to remember them one more time. Hinsa.
First word is hinsa, jhoot, chori, Methun, and
parigraha. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. Why does a living being commit horrible sins? Who would like to answer?
Yana,
No.
why do they?
What is
Why do the living being commit horrible sins?
like?
Well,
Because they always do right.
no, but why? Why do they do it?
And they do it because they're like greedy.
They're greedy.
Good, because they've got wrong faith.
Yeah.
Mithatva.
They think it's for their own good.
Okay, and who is this person who they think that they are?
They think they're a body, but they're a soul.
Good, very good. Can we speak the truth without understanding it?
No.
Give a reasonable reply.
You can't say the truth if you don't actually understand it properly.
But what? Again, maybe like why would that be the case?
Why would that be? Because like you need to first know the entire concept, or you could say something wrong about it. Like if you
Good. And if you say it wrong, your understanding is wrong. If your understanding is wrong, you continue to believe you're a body. And when you believe something that you're not, you continue to be miserable. Priyala, is that making sense?
Yes.
Little bit?
No.
Little bit or more?
No, it's okay if it's not, no problem.
What
Okay.
did you understand so far about this? Like the question is this: can you speak the truth without understanding? Like if you don't have the understanding, can you say the truth?
No.
Why is that?
Then you can do something. You can say something wrong.
Like what? Give me one example of something that is wrong.
If you don't understand like what's the quality of water, and then you say
No, give an example about yourself. Like, who are you? Are you a?
It's okay. Just carry on with water. Say like what you want to say.
Let's say about the water. Go.
Like you don't know what's the substance from water, and then you don't understand, and then you already say something, and then you say it wrong.
If you don't understand it, okay.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you have understood it in your own way. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, number 4, are passions accumulation? The answer is yes. Explain clearly. Vishal can try.
So, I mean, this was a little confusing for me overall, just this part around it. But the way I understood it is, parigra or accumulation is just I want, and it's like you get really passionate and attached to something, and you just want to collect more and more because like I want more money, I want more cars or more material things. And that's why it's like I'm really passionate about. I say I'm passionate about it, so I'm keep on collecting. That's the way I understood it.
So what are passions? So here the answer is that passions are thoughts.
Okay.
Because you have a passion in your mind. It's not something external. If you have a passion in your mind, for example, for cars, so like your passion is it is a thought with intensity.
Okay. Passion is thoughts. Okay.
So any like passion is a thought with a lot of intensity. So the intensity, it can be quite high. Sometimes it can be dangerous. And so it is an accumulation because you hurt yourself. If you don't get it, you keep on slogging for it. And say, for example, you do get it. Then after that, you're like, okay, now I've got it. Now I'll try for something else.
Fiona, what are you passionate about? Ice cream?
Reading.
Reading?
Yeah, my Kindle and my phone.
So what happened? I mean, I think we have a good example of that, right? You're so passionate about reading, you're always like looking for more and more books, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Good. Okay, so that is a good habit you have, but it is good to understand that if we want to experience the soul, any thought, it's not just reading, it could even be doing puja. It could even be doing swadhyay, like how we are doing swadhyay. We might be like passionate about doing swadhyay, about reading Samay Sarf, like for instance. But that in itself is an accumulation, although it is a good one. It is a good thought. It is a good thought to read a good book. But that is an accumulation because it is stopping us from experiencing the soul. Briella, is that okay?
What did you understand, Briella, about this? So for about accumulation, what are you passionate about? What do you like really like doing? Playing. So that's what you keep playing, more toys, more games, more things like that, right?
I like more games.
More games, yeah. So you like more games. Yeah.
Good, very good. So if you were to play for 2 hours, will you be happy?
Will you be happy?
Yes.
Yes.
Imagine if somebody told you you can play for 4 hours today. Will you be happy?
Yes.
You will be happy. If I told you you can play for 6 hours today, will you be happy?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay, see, like now your answer is changing. If you were to play for 8 hours, will you be happy?
Kind of.
Kind of. If you were to play for 10 hours, then?
What do you mean?
And okay. And then okay, fine. For 12 hours?
Quarter happy.
You will be happy, right? 12 hours, will you be happy?
No, quarter happy.
Quarter happy? What is that?
Okay. See, it is decreasing. So it is basically saying that happiness is not in any object or in any thought. Because object makes very clear sense to us that fine, I've used this car, now it's old, now I'll buy a new one. The object makes sense. But the thought is not really making sense to us because we are not going into that subtle level, which into that depth of understanding. So here what it is talking about, maybe today you might not understand everything that I'm saying, Briella, but whatever you understand is like good enough.
So where does happiness come from, Brielle? I have a question for you. You know the answer.
The soul.
The soul. That's perfect.
Yes, happiness comes from the soul. Will it come from any objects? No. And like Fiona, will it come from any thoughts?
No.
Good. What are physical violence and mental violence? See, it's talking about mental violence. Physical violence, we all understand that we hit each other, we kill each other, maybe we give pain to each other. But like, what is mental violence?
What is mental violence?
Mental violence is like you think of harming another creature.
Even the
exactly. So like there's a very nice story about it. Let's try to understand this story. In like a big ocean, there were many fish. There were lots and lots of pretty, all types of colorful and like beautiful fish. Now what happens in these oceans which like really exist, not on the earth we live, but like maybe in another area of this universe, they're like huge, like such long fish, which could be say like 7 meters, 10 meters, 12 meters. They're like really like have got a very big body. So the fish, the mouth of the fish, can you imagine how big it will be if the body is so big? It'll be a very big open mouth. And that fish always has his mouth open. And then, so like lots of small fishes are going in, coming out, going in, coming out, going in and coming out. But this big fish never has a thought or like never has mental violence to kill or to eat these small fish, which are going in and out of his mouth. But there's a small fish that is always sitting on the nose of this big fish. And this small fish is always thinking, oh, I wish I could eat these other fish which are entering in the mouth and going out, entering. So he's constantly thinking that. He's constantly having thoughts of eating the small fish, but he himself is a very small fish who is sitting on the nose of the big fish. But he's constantly having this thought. And because he's having this thought again and again and again, so he is accumulating a lot of bad karma. He's accumulating a lot of mental violence because of his thoughts. He's not killing anybody. He like doesn't have a knife. He doesn't have a big mouth to like grab all these small fish. But he's just having so many bad thoughts in his mind. And because of his bad thoughts, not because of his actions, not because of he's using a gun or a knife to kill somebody, but only because of his thoughts, he goes to hell. And that big fish who has got many small fish coming in, going out, coming in, going out, and some even might be entering the food gut because it is going in and like coming out, but he never has a thought of killing them or eating them. And so he has never ever built any mental violence, and he goes to heaven. Is that making sense?
Does that make sense, girls?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Okay. What should we do to save ourselves from sins?
I think don't think about killing. It's even worse than actually doing it.
Okay, your answer is 75% correct, that we should not be thinking about killing other people, but it is not as bad. It is not as bad as doing it in action, but it is bad. So that comparison, it wasn't correct, but your answer was more or less, it was fine. Okay, what should we do to save ourselves from sins? Now, Vishal can answer. It is a very simple answer. And in Jainism, there's only one answer for everything.
Having the right faith, knowing that you are a soul.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like the greatest sin, like which is number 7, is mithyatva. Mithyatva means wrong faith.
Wrong faith.
He's pushing me away.
Okay, say it properly.
Okay, fine. Let's try to understand another story. Okay, so there were 2 monks. Have you seen pictures of a monk, Priyala?
No.
You picture of a monk?
No.
You have not? Okay, I will find it for you.
I have seen pictures of monks.
Yeah.
No.
So when you see one, okay, if you can have one ready, it is fine. And if you can't, it's okay. So when you see a picture of a monk, you will see that he has got no clothes on his body.
Yeah, he doesn't have any clothes on his body.
Yeah.
And no hair. And
good observation.
They're all together, and they're all meditating.
Very good. Okay, so fine. You have picked up all the main points. So very good. Okay, so yeah, so there are 2 kinds of monks. Both monks do not wear clothes. Both monks have a pichi and like commander. Pichi means like a small sort of a broom, and commander is a small pot in which they put some water to clean when they go to the bathroom. So they don't have a bathroom like us. They just go out in the open, like in the jungle, when they need to go to the bathroom, and so they need a little water to clean themselves. So there are 2 kinds of monks. The first monk hasn't achieved Samyak Darshan, and the second monk has achieved Samyak Darshan. Now we are going back to question number 6.
Can we clarify for them like Samyak Darshan again, because it's
okay. So fine. Okay, so this whole lesson on sins was explaining Samyak Darshan and Mithya Darshan. So what is the greatest sin is wrong faith. Wrong faith is Mithya Darshan, which is wrong faith. and Samyak Darshan is right faith. So what is happening between these two people is that one person hasn't achieved Samyak Darshan, meaning he has not experienced the soul. The second monk has experienced the soul. Now let's go back to the first monk who has not experienced the soul. Someone is cutting his skin, and can you imagine that blood is coming out? It's like oozing out. And someone is putting salt over there. Can you imagine how painful it'll be? It'll be extremely painful. It'll be unbearable. And yet the monk who has not achieved Samyak Darshan, who has still got wrong faith that I'm still a body, he's tolerating the pain. He's just tolerating the pain, and he's just sitting in meditation. But he still has the belief that I'm a body and someone is hurting me. Now there's a second monk who has achieved Samyak Darshan. Now let's take the story of Sukumalji. Sukumalji was a monk who had attained Samyak Darshan, meaning he had experienced the soul. So you have to remember these two words, Samyak Darshan. Samyak means right,
Darshan.
and Darshan means faith. Samyak Darshan. Samyak Darshan. Okay, so there's a story of this monk called Sukumalji. Sukumalji was a very famous monk, and I will send your dad the story of him. And when you watch the cartoon film of him, you will be quite happy to see that film because it is shown beautifully. He was a prince. Well, sorry, he wasn't a prince, but he came from a very wealthy family. He came from a family where he has never worked in his life. And he used to sleep on like a very beautiful garment where, it was so soft, it was so soft, it was almost like velvet. Something might even be better than velvet in like those times. So it was a very soft garment that he used to sleep on, and he had all the luxuries of his life. His mother did not want to send him out of the house, so she entertained him, because obviously in like those days, that huge houses, not like our houses, which maybe have got 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom, but in those days, that huge houses, maybe 60-bedroom, maybe 70-bedroom. So they used to have huge houses and beautiful gardens with a lot of flowers growing, with like a swimming pool, maybe with fountains, with everything nice, like a beautiful garden with a nice patio where you could put your your like armchair and sit there. So like Sukumalji's mother used to entertain him because she did not want him to become a monk. So that was a reason she used to keep him in the house only. So as destiny had it, he was to be a monk, and eventually he became a monk. To cut the story short, I will like send the story to your dad. Watch the full story, but the gist of the story is that he came from an extremely comfortable environment. Let me finish the story and then I will answer your question. Okay, and then when he was a monk, he experienced Samyak Darshan. He experienced the soul. Now, in his previous life, he had some enemies, and those two ladies who were his enemies were now like a form of a cheetah. They had become like a form of a cheetah, both of them. And like both of them started to come and they started to pluck his skin out and eat it. And he's standing there in meditation, blood is coming out, everything is coming out. They have removed his skin, like they're tearing it apart, and they're consuming it. But Sukumalji has got no tears. He's not shaking his body. He's not moving his body. He's not running away from these two animals, but he's going deep within the soul and he's experiencing happiness. So did you understand the difference between the two monks? Both monks were in pain. Both monks experienced external pain from external people or from animals or from external factors. But both monks had different reactions. The first monk, who did not experience Samyak Darshan, he was in a lot of pain, but he quietly, he like we say in Gujarati, sahan kari lidu. He just experienced the pain without making any sound, without feeling bad. He perhaps felt bad inside, but he did not show it on his face. But his belief was still there that they are eating me, they are troubling me, meaning the body. The second monk, Sukumalji, was in a lot of pain as well. But because his attention was not there, he went into the soul. Although they were troubling him, he felt no pain. He was pain free. In fact, he was experiencing infinite happiness, infinite bliss, infinite sukh, because he went deep within the soul and he started to experience infinite happiness. So the greatest sin is not violence, it is not sex, it is not accumulation, it is not theft, but it is mithyatva. Because mithyatva took that monk who did not experience Samyak Darshan to heaven. But once his life will finish in heaven, again he might be an insect, and again he experiences pain. Or he might be an animal, again he experiences pain. Or he might go to hell, he experiences pain. Or he might become human, he experiences pain. But the monk Sukumalji also went to heaven. But in his next birth, whenever he becomes again like a human, again he'll be a monk, and again he will experience Samyak Darshan, and then he goes to moksha. Okay. So both of them experienced pain, but their reaction was different. Their belief was different.
Understand? Yeah. So the other monk that didn't have Samyak Darshan, he also went to heaven, but that's because he didn't talk about his pain, like he didn't express his discomfort, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the reason? Okay.
Ene like shanti thin sahan kari lidu.
That's why he went to heaven.
Yeah, so yeah.
The wrong belief, the badhati aji pan. Yeah, understood.
Because of his wrong belief, he still has got movement in this sansar.
Cycle. Yeah, the cycle continues. Yeah.
Cycle of life and death, life and death, life and death, life and death. Okay.
Really, you have a question? Go ask.
Can make my story I'm going to tell.
What will it say? It. What did you say?
Oh, the story you're going to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell the story afterwards. Wait. Yeah, you will do that later. Wait.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for reminding me. So we will do for another 15 minutes, and then we'll give about 10-15 minutes for both of you at the end. Okay, so now let's move on to the next lesson. Is this lesson clear?
Is this clear?
Yeah.
What is the greatest sin? You got it?
Yeah.
Mithyatva.
The greatest thing is wrong faith.
What is that called in Gujarati?
Mithyatva.
Mithyatva. Good job.
Mithyatva. Okay. Like Vishal, you can read that. Sorry, page 10. You can just read it quickly, and then we go on to the next.
Principles enunciated in the lesson. Evil, that is the cause of unhappiness, is a sin. Wrong faith and passions, being evils causing unhappiness, are sins. Wrong faith, like you said, Fiona, is the greatest of all the sins. Induced by wrong faith, living beings commit horrible sins. Without getting rid of wrong faith, the circle of life and death does not stop to operate.
This is what we were talking about right now.
Yeah. Perverse faith is wrong faith. Getting rid of wrong faith means understanding correct things and accepting them as such. Delusions, attachments, and aversions that rise in the soul are spiritual violence, and to torture other living beings is physical violence. I think when they talk about spiritual, the mental, it's the same thing, right? The mental violence, that's what we were talking about earlier. Is it the same thing?
Spiritual violence is Atmanughat. Spiritual violence is like bhav maran. So by every single thought that I am not a soul, but I am a body, or I am this thought, that I want to do puja, I want to do swadhyay, I want to buy a car, so there are two kinds of thoughts. There is one which are good thoughts, one are bad thoughts. The good thoughts are, I want to do swadhyay, I want to do puja, I want to go to Jin Mandir. Those are the good thoughts. The bad thoughts are, for example, I want a big house, meaning to say accumulation of like the mundane life. I want a big house, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want to kill this person, I want to eat a lot of food, etc., etc. But both thoughts are bad.
Yeah.
It's not to say that because I want to do swadhyay, because both thoughts are hindering or they are stopping one from experiencing the soul.
Yep, understood. It is very necessary to understand truth before speaking it. Wrong faith and passions are part of accumulation. The root cause of all the sins are wrong faith and passions.
Good. Okay, so maybe you can print page 10 out and you can stick it in your rooms. Have you done with the other one? I'm a soul in Balbot like Patmala, like the last page.
No, we have not. We just moved the rooms. Now we switched to a different room, so now we can put it.
Okay, fine. Okay, who wants to be Subodh?
One of the in reading the story that so there's two brothers. Who's gonna be one brother? And who wants to be Subodh? Who wants to be Prabodh?
I want to be.
Subodh?
I'm Prabodh.
Okay. Briella, you're Subodh.
I want to do Subodh anyways.
Okay. Ready?
Okay, read the heading, Briella.
Brother.
No, here, heading.
What's happening?
Right here.
Which way?
Passions.
Passions.
Okay, read.
What does passions mean?
Passions.
Okay, it's fine, no problem. Let's read and then we will understand. Subodh, read.
Read.
Brother, you told me that your
Our
soul
merely
knows and see. Does it not become angry? Does it not
commit fraud.
Yes, it does all these, but anger and other passions are not natural to the soul, just as knowing and seeing are. Passions are not in its essential character.
Essential.
Okay, let's read slowly so that we understand. Brother, you told me that our soul merely knows and sees, meaning it is a knower, it is not a doer. So does it become angry? What is the answer?
No.
Good.
No,
Good, because it is only knowing, it is not doing. So does it become angry? The answer is no. Does it commit fraud? What's the answer?
What's fraud? Okay, we have to explain what fraud is.
Okay, fine. Let's use another word. Does it does it speak lies?
Does it speak lies?
Good. Okay. Does it steal things?
Does the soul steal things?
No. How can
Okay. Does it think of good thoughts and bad thoughts?
No.
Why? Because all these things are doing. They all are categorized in doing. So does it become angry? No. Does it think good thoughts or bad thoughts? No. Okay, next, Prabodh. Yes, it does all these things, but anger and other passions are not natural to the soul, just as knowing and seeing are. Okay, so let's understand. So the real answer is no, it does not become angry, but yes, it does all these things. Where is it doing it in the soul? There are two parts of the soul. Do you remember from that other book? There are two parts of the soul, Dravya and Pariyaya. Who remembers? Raise your hand. If you don't remember, no problem. We will like repeat it again. But who remembers Dravya Pariyaya Gun? Dravya Gun Pariyaya. Yes. Briella, do you remember? It's okay, even if you just remember the names. Dravya, Gun, Paryay. Okay,
You-
let's go back to that other book and let's try to understand.
which book? Like the
Lagu Jain Siddhant Praveshika.
The one, the green one.
The green one. Good, yeah, good memory.
No, she literally just saw it from the computer.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so let's go to question number 2. What is dravya? What is substance? Okay, so we will make it easier. Let's not, okay, so when they're infinite gun, when they cannot be separated, is called substance. Now let's go to question number 4. Okay, let's do 3 as well. The quality that, what is gun? The quality which exists in all parts. Like, do you remember how it was? In all parts. In all parts. Yes, it is in all parts. It is in all parts. Good. So we had used that example of a cake. That quality which exists in all parts of the substance and in all its modifications. Modifications is paryay. Modifications is called attribute. Now, how is paryay, Fiona? It's like this. It's upward. Do you remember?
Zang and Goon.
Yes, it is. It is upward, and gun is like this.
And
Yeah. Okay. What is modification paryay? The manifestation functioning part or activity of an attribute is called modification. Okay, we are only doing this much. We are not doing more than this. Let's go back to the other book. Okay. Yes. It does have all these passions. It could be anger. It could be krodh, man, maya, lobh. So it could even have greed. But where are they in the soul? Because look, it is saying they're not natural to the soul. Because the natural, or like the natural nature of the soul is to know and to see. Passions are not its essential character. So there are 2 parts of the soul. What are the 2 parts? One is dravya, the second one is paryay. So the anger, the passions, the greed, where is it? Where is it in the soul? Is it in the dravya or is it in the paryay? Just take a guess.
Take a guess. Where are they in the soul? In the dravya or in the paryay? Like anger and all of that stuff.
In the Dravya.
Okay. And like Vishal, like where do you think they are?
I think it's in the paryay. I mean, that's just the way I understood it.
Okay, so you are right. It is in the paryay. Because remember, paryay is the changing. It is the changing. So the easiest way to remember, paryay is changing. Am I, when I get angry or when you get angry, do you remain angry for a very long time, like for like months and years and centuries? No.
I think Fiona sometimes does.
Yeah. Okay, but you see, you can't, because look, now you're smiling. Yeah, because you're smiling right now, it is saying that none of us, not only you cannot remain angry forever, and you cannot be smiling forever, and you cannot be crying forever, and you cannot be feeling bad forever, and you cannot be feeling happy forever, because paryay is the changing. So there's always change. Maybe for one paryay you're angry, maybe for the second parable, like paryay, you are sad, the third one you're happy. Do you understand? Because it is the changing part. The dravya is the constant part. So for this is something that you have to remember. This is your homework. Paryay is the changing part of the dravya, and the dravya is the constant part. The constant part. So all these anger and other passions, they are happening in the paryay. It is happening in the paryay, but it is not happening in the dravya. The dravya is always constant, 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 constant. But because the paryay is changing, 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 changing. So for a few paryays, you're angry. For a few paryays, you're happy. For a few paryays, you are bored. For a few paryays, you are attentive. For a few paryays, you're smiling. For a few paryays, you're crying. Okay, next, Subodh, you can read.
Read this, Subodh. I mean, Briella Subodh, read this. Read this.
Where?
What
What is
perverse
perverse
character?
character?
Prabodh, slowly.
The conduct which is against the nature of the soul is perverse character.
Okay, let's use another word, false. Don't use that word, false.
False
Use
character.
the word
False character.
Is false character. Nature of the soul is bliss.
what is bliss in another simpler word?
Happiness.
Happiness. Yes, okay, wrong faith.
Wrong faith, attachments, and aversions are against the blissful nature of the soul. Therefore, they are
False.
false character.
Good girl, very nicely. I mean, like you read it very nicely. Fine. Okay, so the real nature of the soul is to be happy. So the soul has got two natures. One is the real one is the false one. The false one is sad, is to be excited, is to show like, you know, like, I mean, like a lot of sorrow, or to show anger. That is the false nature of the soul. The real nature of the soul is to be happy. Okay, so we can stop here today. Your homework is to think till here, till Prabodh. And you just have to read this lesson, and then in the next lesson, then we can discuss it. Yes, Priya, ask your question.
I can't understand the part where when you said that.
Briella, I can't understand anything you're saying.
Come closer.
Yeah, come forward and say it.
I didn't understand the part when you said false.
Character.
Yeah, false character.
False character. Okay, okay. Let's take an example, which is which will make sense. Have you ever taken part in a play? I think you have in school.
In
Fine.
school, you part in a play?
Part play.
Like, you know, in like one of those shows or plays or musical.
No.
Yeah, like when you remember, like those two little characters, like
Puppet show.
I did that in kindergarten. I
Yes.
remember.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, fine. So I think like, okay, imagine when you go to watch Cinderella. When you go to watch Cinderella in the maybe a film, or maybe like to watch a play. So the lady who is playing Cinderella, is she really Cinderella? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
She's like acting.
She's acting. Wow. So yeah. So she's acting. Okay, let's take another example. The prince who is going to marry Cinderella, is he going to marry her in real life?
No.
No. Why?
Because he's pretending.
Pretending. Good. Okay, so in the same way, the soul is pretending to be bliss, to be angry, to be excited, to be sorrowful. You see, all these are just a role that they're playing for a short period of time. how the prince and Cinderella are playing that role. So the play is for how long? Maybe 2 hours. And after that, they change their clothes and they go home, right? So in the same way, the anger is only there for 5 minutes. And then it cools down, like your mind becomes cool.
Yes.
So in the same way, so that's the false character. That's the false character of the soul. Priela, have you understood now?
Yes.
Okay, so can you explain to me what is the real character of the soul and what is the false character of the soul?
Also, like he's pretending that he's sad, or he's pretending that he's angry.
And what's the right character?
And the right character is
You know the answer. What is the soul? What is the
happiness.
Happiness. Yes, happiness. Okay, so so now all of you as like a family, you are going to study this part, this lesson number 3, and then in the next class we will repeat it again to see how much you've understood. Okay, so who would like to go first? Briella or Fiona? You one? Okay, fine. So Briella wants to go first with the story. Come forward. Speak each word clearly so that everybody can understand. And you can you can maximize your screen.
First,
wait 1 second, hold on.
Like start a story. Like once upon a time.
There was a king. He had 4 daughters.
No, sons.
Yes.
One was Ram, Lakshman, Rafan,
Bharat
Bharat,
and Shatrugna.
and Shatrugna.
Good.
And what happened?
And then they married to
Ram married?
to Sita.
Yes.
And
From the other royal family.
And then
He was supposed to be the king, remember?
And he was supposed to be the king. And then the mom from Ravan,
No,
Bharat, he said that she said to give 2 wishes to me. And then
what was the first wish?
the first wish was my son Bharat is going to be the king. And Ravan.
No, Ram. The second wish is Ram.
Ram has to go to forest to the jungle for 14 years.
That's right.
Good.
And then Sita came. And then Lakshman.
Yes.
Too.
As well. And then what happened in the forest? Remember the bad guy who was a villain?
Ravan. Ravan went and then kidnapped Sita.
And then what happened after that?
And then she went to the place.
Yeah, police is good. So here the police was Hanuman and Sugriv.
Well, Ram went to get Ram. Where did Ram go? So actually, Ravan took Sita to where? Lanka.
And then Ram came
with the army, right?
With the army, the monkey army.
No. They're not monkeys. So let's not believe that, because in the Jain Ramayana, they are not monkeys. They are actually very beautiful men. Like Hanuman was a Kamdev. So you don't have to remember that, but I'm just giving this information for your dad, that he was a Kamdev, meaning he was an extremely, extremely, extremely handsome person, and he was not a monkey. Hanuman, Sugriv, Nal, Neel, they were not monkeys. They were humans like us.
And then they went with the army to find them, and then they find it, her, and then they fight.
Good.
Who killed Ravan?
Lakshman.
Very good. So very good. So you remember 90% of it. So well done.
So what happened afterwards? Remember we talked about it?
No, first, what is it called? Ravan was telling Sita, I want you to marry me. I want you to marry me, because Ravan found Sita very beautiful.
That's right. But then what happened because Lakshman killed Ravan? What happened to Ravan and Lakshman?
They went to Nar.
To Nark.
Good.
And then she had to go again in the forest for 14 years.
Ah.
Because the people said, oh, you went with the bad guy to the other, so you had to go again for 14 years.
Yeah. No, not 14 years, but she just had to go back to the forest.
Perfect. Good job.
Good. Very good. Well done. Okay, so now let's start with the song Megyananand Swarupihu.
Yana?
I want to also sing.
Both of you can sing.
Join hands and sing it.
I don't know the entire thing.
Okay, how much ever you know, try it.
Megyanananda Swabhavihu, Megyanananda Swabhavihu, Mehu apne mein swayam purna, पर की मुझ में कुछ गंध नहीं, हे अरस अरूपी अस्पर्शी, पर से कुछ भी संबंध नहीं.
Wow. Clap for yourself. That was so good.
Well
That
done.
was very, very good.
I'm gonna do the rest of it later. I'm gonna hear it.
Okay.
Yes.
So every time before we start the class, we are going to say Megyanananda Swabhavihu. So Gyan means knowledge.
I know
Anand.
that.
Okay.
Mama told me.
Listen. Okay.
Oh,
Listen.
well done. Okay, let's listen from Briella because you know. Well done.
Okay. Briella, say it. So what does Gyan mean?
No,
Knowledge.
that's what Mommy told me.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay. So fine. Look over here, Fiona. Gyan means knowledge. Anand means sukh, or it means happiness. Me means me. I am Jnananand Swabhavi. Swabhavi means my character. What came in today's topic? My character, my identity, my existence is of Gyan and Anand. So I am a soul.
Gyan Anand.
Yeah. Remember when we first started the lessons, we talked about what are the characteristics of a soul? Infinite happiness and infinite knowledge. That's basically, I think that's how it's coming along. You see that?
Yeah.
That's what the song says. My character is.
Yes, very good. Yeah.
You sing it one time.
Okay, let's sing it together. Me Jnanananda Swabhavi. Jnanananda Swabhavi. मैं हूँ अपने में स्वयं पूर्ण, पर की मुझ में कुछ गंध नहीं, मैं अरस अरूपी अस्पर्शी, पर से कुछ भी संबंध नहीं. Okay, so I have taught you one line today. Let's not give too much homework. You've got enough homework. So every day before you go to bed, you can sing Megyananand Swabhavihu. I am a soul full of happiness and knowledge. Okay, good. Okay, fine. So have a nice week.
Okay, listen, pay attention. Okay.
Okay, so have a nice week, and you and practice Megyananand Swabhavihu. I'm going to turn the live off, but I want to speak to you, so please be here.